Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing an update for the UK for the next week to 10 days, and it looks really interesting for the next few days, especially for the north and northeastern areas. In the next day or two, on Thursday and Friday, there could be some snow showers coming into the northeastern areas, but on Friday it becomes interesting because if we go to Friday towards the end of the week here, there is a low pressure coming in, and if we go and zoom in a bit more and look at the precipitation chart, it's showing some snow for the for the northern areas, the northern hills, the northeastern areas, and towards Cumbria and towards the western parts of England. But the caveat with all this is to do with the HPA and the dew point, because on some of the runs and some of the ensemble members, which I'll show you towards the end of the run and towards the end of the video, some of them are going above zero for the dew point, and if it's above zero, that is not promising for snow. So it's keep changing run to run, because on the zero run it was showing a little bit of snow for the Cumbria area, but like mainly it was just rain. But on this run, it's showing a lot more snow for the north and like northeastern areas. So it just keeps changing. That's like what we know for now in the next few days, and there is some signs it could be cold towards the middle and the end of the run, towards the 200-hour mark. Because a few days ago, it was keep on showing like the low pressure slinking down and the high pressure lifting towards Greenland and bringing in a north to northeasterly wind. And when we get an easterly wind, that basically brings snow, because when the North Sea is warm relative to the HPA in like the upper airs, if there's like a big difference in the temperature gradient, that creates instability and that creates moisture. And when the winds come in from the east, that creates obviously snow showers, and maybe some like banded snow showers if the air is cold enough, and if the sea is just that warm enough as well. But it's looking uncertain though, because towards the 200-hour mark, what I'm saying, it's just bringing in just a plain northwesterly wind, and the other ones are showing the easterly wind, because like now the high pressure's not toppling around the high pressure like that, and the low pressure is a lot stronger than like what was shown the past few days. So it's still uncertain towards the end of the run, so we can't really say what's going to happen yet, but we just have to keep an eye on it. But it does get that towards the 240 hour mark. It's bringing in a northerly wind, and it's got some cold air embedded in it as well. It's just getting the minus isotherm into northern areas. And if we look at a closer view in the precipitation mark, it is showing some potential showers in the northeastern areas, but it just depends on like, the orientation and where it's sitting. But at the moment, towards the end of the run, it is looking cold, maybe some showers, but nothing to shout about. But the past few days, it was showing snow and easterly winds, so we'll just have to see with that. But then as we go on towards the end of the run, just bringing in a plain westerly wind, nothing too exciting if we look at the HPA, the temperature. Maybe some like maybe the -5 towards the northern Scotland, and maybe towards the eastern coast, yeah, towards towards like maybe like the Newcastle area, but even then it's not even like -5. It's just like -4. So nothing really to shout home about for snow towards the end of the run. And there is a low pressure developing in the Atlantic, but that looks pretty weak, and that could bring some maybe like rain if we were to go on. If we look at the precipitation, there is some precipitation coming in off that low pressure, so that'd be pretty interesting. Now let's look at the ACMWF, which is classified as the better model for like the long range, but the GFS has been doing a bit better so far this winter, but the GFS is prone to chop and changing a lot, and like that's what it's been doing like recently. So we'll just have to see. So as we're going to Wednesday, just playing westerly wind, but the high pressure is starting to inch its way north. So that's pretty interesting. And when we get towards Thursday, the high pressure is ridging towards Greenland, but the actual the bulk of the high pressure is still in Atlantic, but it is bringing in a pretty cold northerly wind from the Svalbard area and towards the North Pole. If we look at the HPA, it is bringing some really cold air in from the north, and it is like bringing in the -7, the -8 isotherm towards the northeastern areas and northeast of Scotland, and it's looking cold, but it could be bringing in some snow, but we're not sure. It just depends on the orientation of the low. So if the orientation of the low is more south and more east, that would bring in a slight northeasterly wind, and that would bring the showers directly towards the northeast coast. So that would be snowing for like the northeast in England. But if this is a plain northerly, the bulk of the snow showers will be like hitting Scotland, and if the winds are light, the snow showers won't be able to get far inland, and then they'll start to dissipate. But it's looking pretty cold in the next few days, and as we go on to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's looking just pretty settled, pretty cold. Probably some frost at night and that, but like the daytime, it'll be pretty dry as well with some sunny spells. And when we go into next week, the high pressures is topping around the UK, and it's just looking pretty dry. But when we get towards Tuesday next week, we're getting to the plain westerly wind, and when we look at the HPA, it's still really cold. And like sometimes we can't get some cold air coming from the Atlantic. It just depends on how intense the cold is towards North America. If the cold's really intense towards North America, that sometimes can bring some cold air in. But the majority of the snow showers, if that was happening, it'll be like northwestern England, cause like the showers just like can't penetrate through inland enough to reach most like eastern areas. But it is interesting that it is showing that. And when we go further on into next week, but it's far too far away, so we can't really say if it's going to happen or not. But it is bringing a pretty intense low pressure in from the Atlantic, and it is bringing in some pretty cold air in with it, and that could bring some snow. But it just depends on how heavy the precipitation is. The heavier the precipitation, the more chance to be snow, because it cools down the air, and that could bring the zero line further down towards the ground, and that could bring snow. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but it's too far away to say anything about that. If we look at the GFS ensembles, the ensembles is basically an average. So basically, all of these models here, it'll get like averaged out. So as you can see, the black line here in the middle is the average between the coldest and the warmest ensembles. So at the minute, in like the next few days towards Tuesday and Wednesday, it's staying pretty milder than average, and it'll just feel a bit chilly, but it'll be like milder than average. But then when we go into Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, there is a big plunge, and that's to do with the northerly wind. When it comes towards the snow event, and this is the hard part here, because the HPA does support potential snow, but what doesn't support snow for the Friday time frame is the dew point. The average is just above zero, and that is not good if you want snow. If you want snow, you want the dew point to be below zero, but there is a lot of them going up below zero as well. So the snow is like a 50-50 chance in the minute on Friday for like northeastern areas, but it's still uncertain, and we need more runs to verify it. And if we go on the snow depth chart here, you can see some snow starts appearing, and when you go even further out towards the 24th of January, it's showing a lot of snow spikes, and that's to do with the low pressure coming in off the Atlantic and bringing the cold air with it, and that could bring some snow. But it just depends on how intense the cold how intense the cold is and how intense the rain is and that. But as you can see, like for that snow like mark around the 25th to 24th, there's a big scatter. The warmest one is the ensemble 12, and that's 2.3, so that's just rain, plain rain, simple as that. And the coldest one is -10, so it's gone from 2 to -10, so a 12-degree difference. So it's so uncertain beyond Thursday and Friday, and this is due to the sun's stratospheric warming. When that happens, the warm air from the upper atmosphere entrenches into the North Pole, and like it moves the polar vortex out, or in the best scenario, if you want snow, it splits it in half, and that just warms the temperatures in like the upper airs of the atmosphere. And over time, what normally happens is it propagates down towards the troposphere, and the troposphere is where the weather is. And if the warm air gets to the troposphere, that could create northern blocking, and there's normally a time lag, maybe 1 to 2 weeks, but it just depends on how quick it reacts. When we had the beats from the east last time, it was the sun's stratospheric warming. It only took a week or two to react, so it was pretty quick. But like this year so far, it's been taking ages to react. But yeah, it's looking pretty interesting if you like snow. but that's it. Like really, and that there's nothing much else to say. It's looking cold in the next a few days towards the end of the week with the potential snow event. Then it's just going to stay pretty cold, and then there's a big uncertainty towards the 22nd, the 25th, and 24th when some are showing loads of snow due to the cold air getting in towards the low pressure, bringing in loads of snow and cold air. But then there's some showing it's not really pulling in the cold air as much as it is with some of them, and that's just like bringing rain. So we'll just have to see what happens in the coming days, and then towards the end of the run, this is a big scatter, and we'll probably go into that. But it just looks pretty cold. If you look at the average, but yeah, that's about it. And also, before I go, I want to show you. I'm trying to go tidbits here because this will feature a lot in my future videos, especially in like tornado season, hurricane season, typhoon season, and so on. There's no Easter coming in like the next week or so. Oh no, that's the most like recent run coming out. If I show you on the 6 o'clock run, this is towards Saturday, the weekend. It's showing a big nor'easter coming in towards the Ohio area, and that's going to dump a lot of snow towards the Boston area, the New York area, the Ohio area. And like the winds look pretty strong as well. It's around 40 knots, and that equates to around 60-ish like miles an hour to 50-ish, and that's pretty strong really in that. But it's mainly strong around the Boston area. But I'm gonna do like more update on this in another video. But there could be a very severe storm on the way for Northern America, and this could be really interesting if you're in the Ohio area, in the Boston and North, in the New York area. But guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had the hissing sound, I think it's my headphones. I don't know like what's like wrong with it. I think I may need to get new headphones, or I might get a new mic altogether, and like the audio will be way better quality. So if you don't like the audio, I'm like really sorry, and I really apologize, and hopefully I can get a new set of headphones or like microphone in the next coming weeks. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button and subscribe and turn on the notifications for like future updates. And yeah, I hope you liked it. I'll see you later. Bye.